If you've tried the posting, the ads, the email list, and SEO and got nothing to show for it, watch this first. Because you're about to be told to try one more new thing, a new platform, a new funnel, a new tactic, and this one's going to be the one that finally comes through for you. Or so the advertisement will suggest. And I want to save you from that anxiety and that sense of scrambling. Because here's one thing that I've learned, both in my own business and in doing it for clients. When it feels like marketing isn't working, like you're throwing time and energy at something and you're not getting results, it's very rarely the tactic. I'm not going to say it never is, but usually it's the fact that you don't have a strategy behind it. You're just kind of testing things out to see if something provides results, and there's no strategy and plan, particularly no system in place. And so you don't know what to focus on. You're starting at the top wondering why is nobody converting, but the actual leak is in a layer underneath. In this video, I'm going to walk you through why marketing actually stops working and the order in which you should check it to see what's broken. Then I'll give you a simple fix for each one. By the end, you'll know exactly where the leak is and you'll stop wasting money trying to fix the wrong thing. Does that sound like something you need today? Then let's get into it. Let me describe to you a scene I think you'll recognize. You're not getting enough leads. And so the instinct is, I need to get more eyeballs. I need to post more. I need to run ads. I need to get on a new platform that everybody's talking about. In other words, when marketing isn't working, almost everyone reaches up. They're trying to add things to the marketing that already isn't working, hoping that that new thing will fix it. Think about what that actually does. If there's a crack in your foundation, building a new floor isn't going to fix the problem. That floor itself will experience problems down the road because the foundation is cracked. Effective marketing works in layers. There's no secret sauce, no secret tactic that's just going to be the big breakthrough for you. Rather, understanding the layers to good, effective marketing helps us understand what we need to focus on right now. So what are those layers? A quality offer is at the bottom. And then clarified messaging is the next level up. Without a quality offer and clarified messaging, you don't have a foundation to amplify your advertising and get word of mouth out there. People that resonate with what you're providing them and doing for them in a way of simply talking about it in a simple way with others. And then a website and a way to follow up. Those are key to an effective sales funnel. And only at the very top is the loud stuff like social media and content and ads. When marketing isn't working, the answer is almost always to look down, not up. Figure out what layer below has a crack in it. Don't throw more money at ads. Figure out why those ads aren't converting. It's probably a confusing message or maybe the wrong offer in front of the wrong people. All of that has to do with foundational layers. So you may be here today and thinking that, man, I need leads, I need sales. That's your pain point, presenting pain point. And I'm saying 100%, I want to help you fix that. Throwing money at ads or spending more time posting on social media may not be the thing to focus on right now. Let's make sure the layers of marketing are put in place properly before we do that. In order to do that, I'm going to start at the very bottom and we'll work our way up. Some of this is probably going to feel basic to you, especially if you've been in business for a while, but take it as an opportunity to self-audit. Is there any way I could improve these layers? Because the more effective each layer is as you build up, the more powerful your ads and your social media marketing will be in the end. The deepest leak, and probably the one nobody really wants to hear about, is the offer itself. I'm not talking about the marketing of your offer. I'm talking about the actual offer, the product or service you deliver, and whether it's effectively meeting people's needs and if you're delivering it with care. Here's the uncomfortable test. If you stopped any sort of outreach and marketing tomorrow, would you still get people who want to buy from you? Would your past customers come back or send referrals? If the honest answer is not really, then no amount of money, no amount of other marketing efforts is going to save your business, because all good marketing is amplified word of mouth. If there's nothing worth talking about, you're trying to amplify silence. Sometimes it's about the quality of the product or service and how you deliver it, but sometimes it's about the offer of the work It's confusing what a customer actually gets or how it benefits them, how it makes their life better. A vague offer is almost as deadly as a weak offer. Get brutally specific about what it is you actually do. Not I do coaching. Instead, I help new real estate agents get their first 5 listings within 90 days. One clear promise, one clear outcome. If you can't say it in a sentence, your customers can't either. One final thing about a good offer is that it is very clear on the pain you are alleviating for your customer or the pleasure you're providing. That's what you're doing in business. You're either alleviating pain or providing pleasure. Sometimes you might be doing both, but most often it's just one. Do you know which pain you're alleviating or which pleasure you're providing and how you do that? And can you articulate that in a sentence or two? Now, let's say your offer is solid. People love doing business with you. They love the service they get. They love the product once they buy it. The struggle is getting people to buy it. Then let's look at the next layer up. Your messaging. This is honestly the single most common reason marketing isn't working that I've seen. A great business that confuses people once it opens its mouth. I've seen beautiful websites with lots of information that can't convert at all because the messaging is too confusing. Here's the thing about attention. The human brain is wired to conserve energy. If someone lands on your website or your profile and they have to work to figure out what it is you do, they won't. Instead, they'll leave. Not because they're lazy, but because that's how the brain works. Think about it. How many times have you been on a website and scrolling down through something and there's a big block of text and you just kind of skim over it and zone out? Well, that's your brain automatically. That text may actually have been fairly interesting, but your brain automatically saw work and it's like, well, let's see if I can get the answer without reading through that. And if I can't, then we might go up through and read the block of text. Our brains, without us thinking about it, try to conserve energy. And so we want to make sure our messaging is super clear so that people who engage with any of our marketing assets, our website, our social media, and a flyer they see, an email they receive, and they don't have to work. It's super simple and clear. A simple test that I always use when I check my messaging, and it's really uncomfortable because I struggle with this as much as anybody. And that is, if I go through and handwrite out the messaging that is on my website or on an ad or social post, if I feel uncomfortable writing it or reading through it, if it feels like it's pulling teeth, I'm not entirely sure what that means, then it's really clear that I don't have clear messaging. But maybe you're reading it and it does feel clear. And part of it can be the curse of knowledge. We know the business inside and out. And so do we think that it's clear because the messaging is actually clear or because of the knowledge that we have? So we can ask other people, hey, read this. What do you think it means? I've been doing marketing now for nearly 10 years, and sometimes when I'm writing something, I'll have my wife look at it. She's totally oblivious to whatever project I'm working on, and I just want to see, does she know what it is that I'm trying to communicate in a pretty quick amount of time without doing any work? And if it's confusing to her, then I need to keep working at it. And then there's a third kind of underlying test, and that is if people are reaching out or asking you questions and it seems clear they don't really know what you do, then you have a messaging problem. Clarity beats cleverness every time. Sometimes we want to put our information out there. Sometimes we want to be clever because we think clever catches people. But the reality is, if it's not clear, no matter how valuable the information is and no matter how catchy it is, people are not going to engage with it. So you want to focus on clarity over cleverness or over valuable information. That valuable information can come later. And if we can put catchy, clever ways of phrasing things in with a super clear message, then it's really powerful. But don't sacrifice clarity just because you're trying to be catchy. So here's a simple fix. Make sure that all of your messaging answers 4 questions. What problem do you solve? How do you solve it? What does my life look like after you've solved the problem? And what do I need to do to get you to solve that problem for me? That's it. Answer those questions in plain language that a stranger gets in seconds, and watch how easier everything above this layer gets. Okay, good offer, clear message. Now for the leak that's costing you more money without you even realizing it. You have no follow-up. Here's what happens in most small businesses, and it's common with creatives and experts as well. Someone discovers you, they poke around, kind of see some of your social posts or your website, read some articles, and they're interested and they think, oh, I should look at this more sometime, but then life happens and they never get around to it. That's not a bad lead. That was a solid lead that you had no system to catch. Most people who find you today aren't ready to buy on the spot. They need to know they can trust you. They need to know you can produce results. You may even be speaking to a pain point that they're aware of, but they're not feeling in the moment. People who discover you today are most likely researching. They're curious. They're seeing what options are out there. Asking them to buy and do business with you right now is a lot like proposing on a first date. It's actually going to scare them off. You need to give them a reason to come back. That's what an effective sales funnel really is. I realize that kind of sounds maybe vague and technical, sales funnel, but really a sales funnel is simply an intentional way of moving someone from that curious looking around to being like, hey, I'm ready to buy. Rather than waiting for them to take that journey, you're guiding them in that journey. So it starts with a lead gen. We call it a lead generator. And it's just a simple way of helping them or giving them a quick win right now in exchange for contact information. Ideally, phone number or email address. People think email's dead. It is not. It's still one of the most valuable marketing assets today. Then once they've received that lead generator and they've benefited from it, have some follow-up communication with them in a way that helps them continue to grow and learn. It builds trust. This follow-up should tell stories. Instead of trying to get them to buy, it shouldn't be email blasts where it's here's a product, buy now, here's a product, buy now. Rather, it's working them through their journey. What problems might they be facing? Giving them value and input and another quick win, either through storytelling, testimonials, or simple guidance, helping them make a mental paradigm shift that blocks them from really breaking through in whatever issue they're trying to solve. That's what the follow-up communication, we call that nurturing. And then at the end of that, you can give a clear invitation to do business with you. They've warmed up. They're more ready to buy. They may not buy then, and don't abandon them. Continue ongoing email communication, content, continue to add value. But most of y'all are missing out on sales because people were curious, maybe even filled out a lead form, and you had no way of nurturing them along in that process. Ideally, this sort of follow-up would be something you can automate. I realize not every niche is something that you can, but even brick and mortar stores, there are ways to actually have automated follow-up with SMS, messaging, even WhatsApp messaging. Again, like I said, don't abandon email. That can be valuable as well if it's worth it to them. And so going back to offer, make it be something that I would pay a few bucks for, but you're giving it to me for free. And so I'm going to give you a quality email address or quality contact information because this is valuable to me, and then you can follow up with them. So here's the fix, and here's the challenge for you right now. Put a follow-up plan in place this week. What is the most common pain point that your customers, your target customers feel? Is there a way you can help them solve that pain for free in a simple downloadable or a video resource or something, digital version that can help get them their foot in the door and become familiar with you? Maybe you're a coffee shop and you could offer a simple free drink for first-time buyers or something that brings them in to engage. It's not a specialty drink so much, but it just gets them in and they can begin to experience you. And it's delivered with care and quality that would be something worth talking about and remembering, that so that they come back and maybe even bring other people with them. That alone will outperform just posting a bunch of new content on social or putting more money in ads, because it's a way to collect contact with people who are already interested in you. They're just not ready to do business quite yet. I've developed a funnel explainer in another video that I've already done, which you can check out in the link above. Now we finally reach the top of the stack, the one that everybody tends to reach for first. Reach, traffic, audience. And notice this is reason number 4, not number 1. This is the fourth place to look, not the first. Because most times when people think they have a traffic problem, they actually have a problem in one of the first three layers that we addressed. But sometimes the lower layers are solid, and you do genuinely have a reach in traffic problem. There are a couple versions of this. First of all, you may be reaching the wrong people. You may be getting attention, but from people who will never buy. For instance, a photographer gets attention from people who want a bunch of free advice, but no budget. Obviously, those people aren't an ideal client for a photographer. And if that's you, if you're attracting the wrong crowd, more of that crowd won't help. On the other hand, version number 2, you may be attracting the right people, but not enough of them to create sustainable revenue. Everything converts beautifully when they find you, but there aren't enough. This is the one case where do more marketing, more time, more money actually is the answer. So here's the fix. Get really specific about who you're for, and then go where those people are. Take the time to answer the most pressing questions those people are asking in your social posts or on your web content. And you can do that organically or through ads. And when your offer, message, and follow-up are already solid, turning up those efforts for greater reach will pay off because everything underneath it is working as it should. So let's go back to the title, The Simple Fix That Changes Everything. It isn't a tactic, it's a habit. When something isn't working or it stops working like it was, quit reaching up and trying to add one more thing on top. Look down the stack instead and find which layer is broken. Here's your diagnostic from start to finish. If there are no referrals or repeat business, then it's clearly your offer, something with the product and service that you deliver. People can't quickly explain what you do, then it's the message. Lots of interest and attention, but nobody ever converts into customers. It's your follow-up. Everything works, but too few people find you. Then and only then is the issue your reach. Almost always is just one layer. Unless you're just starting out and you're building all of those layers, you usually don't need to overhaul everything. You don't need a dozen new tactics. You just need to find the leak and fix it. That's part of why marketing feels so much calmer once you learn to see it this way. You stop guessing, stop spending money and time trying to fix something, and rather you have the ability to go find the crack, patch it, repair it, and get back to work. If this helped you identify where your marketing is actually broken, I made something to take it further. It's a free 7 layers checklist, and I've linked it in the description below. 4 reasons I gave you in this video are pulled from a larger framework I teach called the 7 layers of a healthy marketing system. The checklist walks you through every layer bottom to top so you can pinpoint exactly where you're stuck and what to fix first. It's free, and the link is in the description. And if you want more of this calm, practical marketing for small businesses and creatives who would rather build something steady instead of chasing the shiny new tactic, subscribe. That's what we do here every week. I'll see you in the next video.